Hello everybody and welcome to another video. My name is Nick Starship and today I wanted to go ahead and go over the two frames which are being unvaulted, which are Vault Prime and Loki Prime. So I just wanted to show you guys my personal builds on them so you have a kind of a good idea what you want to do to get ready mod wise. And remember, these are my personal builds, so if you have any questions on why I built them this way, feel free to put them in the comment section below, as well as maybe give me some feedback on how I can improve if you feel like I can improve. But I feel that these are in a comfortable position for Loki Prime and Volt Prime. So let's go ahead and go over Volt Prime. And as you can see, I'm using the deluxe skin for Volt Prime for the Volt Proto skin. You could pick this up from the market. I think it comes with, I think a Sedana and a Sugatra or whatever. But yes, I'm using the Volt Proto helmet and skin. And if you go ahead and go to the upgrade, I've already pre-labeled these a little bit. The one that you would see me using, especially if you watch me during my live streams for when I'm running like Uko captures and Heffets, is the 1-speed build. Okay, I call this the 1-speed build. Why do I call it the 1-speed build? If you're familiar with like Riddick, he was like, "There's gonna be 1-speed, mine." All right, like that's why I called it the 1-speed build. You know, I'm kind of fast like Sonic. You'd call it a Sonic build, or whatever you want to call it. But mainly, it's focusing on one stat. Strength. Okay, we don't need to worry about range because fuck your teammates. Efficiency, we don't need to worry about efficiency, especially if you're running void missions because you just run into a death orb or you pop an energy pad. And we got a little bit of duration. Worst case scenario, recast. You know, that's basically it. I'm rocking 2 arcane consequences. On headshot, you get more parkour velocity. The duration mods we have on are Prime Continuity and Constitution. And we have no further duration mods. The power strength mods we have on, the main one is Blind Rage, Transient Fortitude, Augur Secrets, Umbral Intensify, and Power Drift. In addition to that, if you have the Aura, Growing Power, this helps. I don't believe it stacks if you have more than one in the party, so if you're running solo, this is a good option. You could also run sprint speed for this as well. Sprint boost for increased sprint speed. In addition to that, the way the second ability functions, it's a speed multiplier. So we have speed mods on, such as Rush and Armored Agility. And that concludes the 1-speed build. TLDR for the build, hit 2, run fast, as you can see in the GIF provided. Next is the Shield Eidolon. This is probably what you'll be using Volt on as well. Once again, this is my personal build. I don't think I have any more room for improvement other than possibly switching out Streamline for fleeting expertise. If you're low on energy pads, this is a good alternative. You're focusing here mainly on duration. The duration mods I have available are Prime Continuity, Narrow-Minded, and I believe that's it. Am I right? Yeah, that's it for the power strength mods, or the duration mods, my apologies. Mainly why you want duration is because Electric Shield does not scale at all by any power strength, to my knowledge. Let's check for the 1-speed build. It does not. So you only want duration for this build for the shields. Everything else is kind of quality of life. Streamline, so they cost cheaper. You can switch this out with fleeting expertise. The duration for your shields goes down to, I think, 48 if you put on a max fleeting expertise. Yeah, it's 48. But then you're losing 12 seconds for an approximately 15 energy cost, which you have 850 here anyway, because I have Prime Flow. So duration, Prime Flow is nice. Keep in mind we're running Eidolon, so I want a little bit of survivability. So I got Umbral Vitality on and Adaptation. I also have Arcane Nullifiers for no magnetic procs on my character. And then I'm rocking Hunter's Adrenaline and Rage. This means that I don't need fleeting expertise because I have decent health and decent survivability due to adaptation and Arcane Nullifier. and I am able to just pop out shields. I think when I play Volt during Eidolons, I maybe use one energy pad, and then the rest of the time I either go off my teammates' energy pads or Rage, which 100 Adrenaline and Rage do stack, giving me 85% damage to my health as energy. So if I take 100 damage, I'm getting 85 energy, allowing me to cast shield up to two times, 2.5 times. A good mod for my team when I'm running Eidolons is Coaction Drift. This will effectively increase the aura effectiveness for like basically all the auras. Especially if your team is running like corrosive projection and stuff like that. You got to be kind of careful. A little bit of team communication is needed to do that. Deadeye helps generally the Chroma is doing the killing. Helps the Chroma plus 52.5% damage. This is increased by Coaction Drift. So they're going to be generally doing more damage. And that's basically the build. The reason why I don't run Adaptation with level 10 is because I personally think it's stupid to max this mod out. I could either get hit, I think it's 10 times for 90% resistance, or 9 times for 90% resistance. No matter what, it caps out at 90. So that's basically it. I get 10 times for 90% with this mod, or I get hit 9 times when it's 10% when you max this out. It's dumb. I would never recommend maxing out Adaptation. When I read how this works, the only thing is that the seconds goes up as well as the resistance. The stacks up does not increase. My ESO build is kind of in a work in progress. I personally would probably swap out Arcane Aegis or Barrier with a maxed out Arcane Energize. I don't quite have that yet. It's okay. It's not too bad. Generally, I would rather focus mainly on higher strength and power range and strength and a little bit of duration. But I'm trying to figure out what works with me. So this is more like a solo ESO build, kind of. Work in progress once again. So I don't want to go over this too much because I can't really tell you that it works 100% of the time. I know that one speed works. As a speed, you're super fast. And Shield Eidolon works. So we're not going to go over ESO. Okay. So that'll go ahead and conclude Volt. I believe with Volt is Odinata Prime. So I could show you that real quick. Just kind of how the default skin looks. I think I have the defaults on. This is what Odinata Prime looks like. This is coming out with Volt and Loki. That in itself is basically like its own Warframe. It's 6,000 to when you complete that. So we won't go over Odinata Prime. It's basically Odinata. Everybody's got an Odinata. If you don't have an Odinata, what are you doing? And also keep in mind the Worm Prime will be coming back as well. This is how mine looks. I haven't touched this in years. I don't plan on looking at it now. My build's probably garbage. Generally, you want to use a Kavat anyway. I like the Kavat. Alright, so that'll go ahead and conclude Volt Prime. And I'll go ahead and include Volt Prime in the wiki as well in the description of the video. Next is Loki Prime. I have 2 main builds that I use generally for missions. First is my Hushed Speed build. This focuses on the second ability, similar to Volt Prime, where I camouflage myself, go invisible, making me basically undetectable. Hushed Invisibility is the main purpose of this, which reduces my weapon noise. So basically it's like having Hushed on every weapon. So I'm invisible and unable to be heard. Does it not mean that I can't detect alarms? The main focus on this is going to be duration. My duration mods are Narrow-Minded, Prime Continuity, and Augur Message, and Constitution. Why didn't I have these mods on my shield build? I didn't think they were needed on Volt, as the stages where they usually go too fast and you have to replace. So on Loki, these are nice. So my invisibility lasts for 36 seconds, up from 12. And in addition to that, we have Streamline for efficiency, so you're not using a lot of energy, so you could recast periodically. Then I have speed mods. As Loki is one of the fastest warframes in the game, it just makes sense to me to include armored agility, as it comes with this polarity, and I really couldn't put anything else there. Speed drift for more casting speed and sprint speed, and lightning dash for parkour, so I'm moving fast while invisible. I also have arcane trickeries on, so that way I could become invisible as well while triggering finishers while also invisible, just in case my invisibility it falls through. Arcane trickery can pick up the slack in case I run out of energy or the ability runs out. Sprint boost as well. I don't have sprint speed on from the mod known as Rush, because lightning dash is currently taking that spot and I was not able to fit it perhaps where armored agility was, just due to how I don't even have a forma on my Loki Prime. Keep in mind, Loki was actually my first warframe, and I didn't even form a Loki Prime. That's just because the polarities work so well. And I'll show you that in a bit with the second build you'll be using. Mainly this will be for defense missions or interception. This is my rad disarm or irradiating disarm build. It was also fairly popular in raids back in the day. I say back in the day, it's literally February last year, 2018. But that was the last raid, was in February. They took them out. Generally, you want to focus on having range, as you can see here, and efficiency is nice, so you could keep recasting. Let's go ahead and look at the ability we'll mainly be using. The drain is 40, down from 100. The radius is 56 meters, and damage is only mainly used on like corpus and infested. It's not too big. You don't really care about damage. You want the irradiating and disarm effect. Normally the ability disarms them, but irradiating disarm applies the irradiation ability. It doesn't seem that there's a duration on the disarm. It's just they're disarmed, but the irradiating is what is affected by duration. We have prime continuity here to go ahead and counteract the fleeting expertise. So we have at least radiating for 9 seconds. The overextended, stretch, auger reach, and cunning drift give us the range. Fleeting expertise gives us the efficiency, which you could probably do this. Now I look at it. And then I have adaptation here. You could probably swap that out. Not really anything that you could probably swap out with. It might be worth putting on maybe even quick thinking there. But I think adaptation's a safe choice. Until you get up to the dummy tier anyway, but you're going to be disarming them. So anything that's hitting you is going to be within melee. So out of all these mods here, once again, this dumb polarity for the Vizarin polarity, it's kind of being weird. So if you wanted a Forma, maybe Forma for that slot. So that's what I would kind of say, depending on what your build is. And we have enemy radar on, so we kind of get an idea of where we're going to be. I would put on a max arcane energize. In fact, I'd probably put on 2 if I had that, but they're like 2,000 apiece, so that's not happening. And those are the main builds. There's obviously a couple augments here that you could throw on. Safeguard switch. And then there's Savior Decoy. You could make a build for those. But that's kind of trolly. You won't really teleport your teammates, and if you're teleporting your teammates, and let's say you had dumb duration and range with a bit of efficiency, which is how I would do it, it makes them invulnerable. But how many times can you make somebody invulnerable before they rage at you? Like, is it worth it? Like, how many limbo mains hate their life every day being told, stop putting me in the rift? That's kind of how it is. Last is a speed build that I would generally use for like parkour. It gives me it's speed. It's literally just speed. If you're just run through a mission and you don't really care about doing anything, Loki is the fastest base speed Warframe in the game at the moment, at a sprint speed base of 1.25, as you can see. A good choice, probably, that could beat Loki would be like Nova. If I could find her. 1.2. I think Ashe also has a 1.2. Which I haven't even formed in my Ashe. But Loki beats them at base sprint speed. Of course, I have some arcanes on here. Consequence for more velocity. Arachne for no reason whatsoever. Just a placeholder. But yeah, this is just how it is. I would probably like sprint, go on some walls or whatever. This build would probably be to get to point A to point B the fastest. But you could probably make a build with like the safeguard switch and still probably be faster than a speed build when you're instantly teleporting. But yeah, that'll be it for basically Loki. Loki is not like a huge frame people play anymore. Generally, you'll see him popular in spy missions. He used to be good at CC, but once again, you know, especially with the Vauban reworks coming, CC is it's been interesting the last year since raids have been taken out. Mainly the meta is about killing stuff, and Loki's definitely not one of those frames that kills things at all. It's mainly crowd control, such as decoy, disarm, being able to teleport and go. It's kind of a utility frame. Could it be considered a support? To be honest, yeah, it can be. You know, but most of the frames have multifunctional tools. It's not too big of an issue. But yeah, if you're coming new to the game and you're getting a Prime access for Volt and Loki, you can go ahead to refer to my builds. You won't be able to buy a Prime continuity if you don't have 1,000,000 credits, and it's going to cost you a couple hundred plat, probably about 3 to 500, 500 in a high, like no more than 5. Like I say that generously. You could probably get one for like 250. So I'm going to say 250 to like 450 range for a maxed Prime continuity. If you don't buy max, what are you doing? You have to buy a maxed for that much. If you're not buying a max, it's going to be a lot cheaper. Narrow-minded as well. Similar range. Just a similar range. That's a 250 to 350. Other than that, Nightmare mod, Drift mod, Nightmare mod, Planes, Syndicate. Generally most missions with Grenier. Wolf of Wall Street, or you could just buy it off somebody. And Kuva. Yeah. Kuva transmutes. That's it for Loki. And we'll just go over my Volt build for how many Forma. I have 3 Forma on. I would not Forma this any way differently. Maybe for ESO? Not really, actually. No. I don't even know what I put on. Just kind of want to copy these similar to these polarities. But, you know, every Warframe has their own. Rush, most missions, Nightmare, Derelict, Sacrifice, if you're new to the game. Make sure you do all the quests. Every time somebody comes on our Discord and they're like, "Hey, Nick, hey, I'm glad to be part of the clan. Do you mind helping me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. What do you need?" "Well, I need to do this. I'm like, "Cool." But, you know, some of that stuff is really easy, you know. Where are you in the game? They let me know where they're at, you know, what they haven't done. I generally look at their profile. One of the things I always tell people generically, and this will help you a lot so you're not garbage, is complete the star chart and do all the quests. So if you're coming in the game new and you've got Volt Prime on you, you should be fine. You should be, in fact, you should be able to speed run through most of the star chart. When I say the star chart, I'm referring to this area here, star chart progress. There are currently 228 missions that you can do that have a node. Go do them with all the junctions. Okay, that's what I mean by complete star chart, do all the quests. After you complete a planet's missions, you unlock nightmare missions, right? And that's where some of the mods were that I listed off of. Keep in mind for the Derelict is over here, where you can get Blind Rage and Transient Fortitude. I recommend running ODC, or Orokin Derelict Capture, or ODE, or Orokin Derelict Exterminate. You can get those keys from the marketplace. It's really simple. I don't even think they have a mastery requirement. You can just buy all the blueprints here. They're permanent. Dirt cheap to make them. Some nanospores, 80 polymer bundle. Bro, you tell me you can't get 80 polymer bundle? That's where completing the Star Trek Duel the Quest comes in handy. Okay. So that's basically it. 2019. Most of these builds are very old, with a couple of the mods being updated throughout the years, with the new mods coming out. But generally, the concept's the same. Volt, run fast. Loki, run fast. Volt, use shields. Volt, use fourth ability. They buffed it in the past. Loki, radiating disarm. Go invisible. Run fast. It's not hard. Okay, you can any monkey can use common sense. Okay, but yeah, that's basically it. I think I can show you what they are right here. Prime Vault opening April 30th. So that's this month. 6 days from this video. You can pick up the Loki and Volt package. It comes with 1,200 plat, Volt Prime, Loki Prime, Bow Prime, Worm Prime, Odinata Prime, and some other bullshit. Okay. I don't think they're highlighting the accessories too much. Maybe these are them. I don't really care. You could buy them individually. You could buy just the accessories. And here's the days that they're available for console. Nintendo Switch, PlayStation. I don't think it's on Xbox. Oh yeah, it is on Xbox One. And for PC, it's coming on the 30th. It looks like it's coming out a lot later for the other regions, such as Asia and Japan, May 7th. That's like a whole week later. Looks like PlayStation 4 gets it on May 1st, which is like a day later, I think. The next day. They got to coincide these updates with the actual company, you know, that they're launching on, like Nintendo, Xbox, PlayStation. So that's why it takes a little bit too long. But yeah, if you've already bought these in the past, you probably don't care. If you already farmed up the Warframes in the past, you probably don't care. Generally, this sale is targeted at people who've been playing and haven't had a chance to farm Loki or Volt. And if you already have Loki or Volt, you probably have your own build already. But not really an issue. As you can see over here in your news, it has like a little alert here. You could click this for it to go up to the same page you've already seen. You could also find generally most of the hotfixes and stuff like this. But always try to pay attention to the forums if you're trying to stay up to current. I do my best to post the big bulk hotfixes and patch notes that I find interesting on my channel. YouTube / Starship or whatever, you can look it up. You're on it right now, so make sure you like, comment, subscribe on the video, and to stay up to date on the news. I am generally on Discord most of the time, or I'm chilling, but you can contact me all the time through Discord. I'll do my best to respond. Just, you know, be friendly, and we'll be cool. Yeah, you can also find me on Twitch. I streamed earlier today, only for like a few hours. I was doing a little bit of Orb Mother. As you can see, I'm at 450 million credits now. I'm trying to get to like 1 billion eventually. But that's the idea. So, Volt Prime, Loki Prime, TLDR, you know, here's my builds. I'll post some links to some wikis, and I'll post some other helpful information in the video below, and that'll be it. So, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.